Another episode of Lyrics and Lies, and I'm your girl, Shayz on the mic, and I'm here with
Money Green.
What's up, Money?
Give it to you, give it to you.
Today we're going to bring it back to one of our Uncensored. We're going to talk about my girl, Tasha Smith.
This is one of the wildest women I've ever seen and heard of.
Tasha was off the chain.
You just think that she's a big mouth actress, not you, but people think she's just a big mouth actress. She has lived a life, and she's young, but she's lived a full life with tons and tons of drama, comedy, more drama, more comedy. Some blessings, some luck, some persuasion, more drama, more comedy. Her episode of Uncensored is off the hook and is more exciting than the most dramatic unsung episode or uncensored episode you can find. Her episode of Uncensored was a trip. What channel is it on?
TV One.
TV One. Uncensored is a series of people being interviewed, and it is telling you their entire career leading up to a certain point. And Tasha Smith by far is the wildest story ever told.
And it's from their perspective. They're the ones who given their take on their lives. So it's uncensored because sometimes they might say some stuff that's wild.
She doesn't censor anything, so she talks.
That's why it's uncensored.
Everything. So go ahead, Shayz. What's going on?
Well, you know that Tasha has a twin.
My mind is blown. Yes.
She has a twin, which is her name is Sidra.
Tasha Smith has a twin.
They look just alike.
Let me tell you how I found that out.
You didn't know that before?
I was in Miami. I just arrived in Miami, so I went to the hotel, put everything in my room. I was on my way to the bank to get some money to go buy some vodka and some other things just to keep in my room. Bumped into a celebrity. She and I talk. We're sitting down in the lobby, just chit-chatting. And she said, no, that's Tasha's twin. She has a twin sister. I said, I didn't know. Whatever. So we talked for about 15, 20 minutes. I start walking to the bank. I did not know that Tasha Smith's twin was walking ahead. Here's where it's funny. Ahead of me. I did not know she was looking over her shoulder because she thought somebody was following her, perhaps. So the bank was about 4 blocks away. Getting down to that 3rd block, I noticed her look over her shoulder and look at me. So, I'm just walking. When someone looks at you, you notice. So I didn't notice that immediately. And I looked up when I saw her, and I looked away. And she kept looking. I could just still see her look because her body was still towards me, but she's still in front of me a few steps. So then she turns around and she walks. So right before we got to the crossing area, the street stuff, she puts her foot down and turns around like, what? Like that. Like she's ready to kick some ass. So she put her foot down and turned around and gave me this eye. And I'm about 5 feet away from her. So I look at her and I don't say anything and I keep walking because we're right there now. The bank is right in front of me. So I looked at her like wasn't nothing to it and crossed the street and went into the bank. And I think she was still standing there because she was waiting for somebody or the bus or whatever right there. But that's how I found out Tasha Smith had a twin, because her twin was about to punch me in my mouth. I thought I was following her and it's just a coincidence.
Yeah, I was going to the same place.
Almost. We were going in the same direction.
Right.
But I'm at the bank. I'm like, this woman is really ready to knock me out. But no, I ain't.
Oh, wow.
But yes, so Tasha Smith has a twin.
Yes, and she fooled Tyler Perry with it too.
She fooled anybody. They are identical.
Right.
Except she doesn't. Her head is shaved.
That's it.
So she has a very low haircut.
Other than that, you wouldn't be able to tell them apart unless you talk to them.
And they're tall. Mm-hmm. They are tall.
Yeah, but she was able to fool Tyler. At one of their rehearsals, she sent Sidra to her.
That's funny.
And Tyler was like, something ain't you different today? I mean, what's going on? But they just kept on going.
Right.
And he just thought that she had an off day.
Right.
You know, maybe today she not feeling good or whatever. But they got her. Then Tasha came out later. He was like, what? You got a twin? Because she had put a wig on.
Oh, okay.
So they did not.
So her childhood. So she grew up in a household where her mother was in an abusive relationship.
Yeah, single mother.
Single mother who was on drugs, boyfriends or whatever, beating her up or they going at her physically. But Tasha says all she did back then, so I guess this is her high school years, was play hooky from school, smoke weed, and have sex and fight other girls.
And do it all over again.
Go to sleep, wake up, have sex, smoke weed, fight girls and stuff like that. I was done at that point. And she just got wilder and wilder as the show went on. But Tasha Smith is as real as they come. And then she gets into doing cocaine. Mm-hmm. She said she was a heavy cocaine user. And I assume she's talking about snorting cocaine. Yeah. Blown away by that.
Yeah. I don't think her sister shared that. I think this was mostly her. I think at the beginning, her and her sister did do a lot of stuff alike. Okay. But then they got to a point where they didn't want to be viewed the same.
Right.
So they started doing different wilder stuff. Like, I'm gonna cut my hair.
Right.
I don't want to dress like her anymore. I want to be I want to be my own person.
Gonna take care of their individuality.
Yeah. Right. So they started doing that. So some things Sidra did not. Take part in that Tasha did.
This Sidra may not, but Sidra was fighting too, though.
Sidra was fighting too.
So maybe Sidra wasn't doing weed and cocaine.
She might have been doing the weed, but maybe not the cocaine.
And throwing that kitty cat around. I ain't lying. I'd have been anyway.
Yeah.
So she bumped into Tisha Campbell, and them two became friends way back then in the '80s, and they've been friends ever since. So that's a great friend to have, Tisha Campbell. I love Tisha Campbell. Her and Eddie Griffin were close friends, or are close friends, and were roommates. Who would imagine that? Or, as they say nowadays, who would have thunk it? But Eddie Griffin, crazy ass, wild ass Eddie Griffin.
And Dave Chappelle too.
Her and Dave Chappelle. Now she don't live with Dave, but her and Dave. So
really
Tasha
close.
Smith says her closest friends are Tisha Campbell, Eddie Griffin, and also Dave Chappelle and Paul Mooney. I would have never thought of that.
And who would have known that she used to do comedy clubs?
She's a stand-up comedian, and she was stripping at the same time when she was trying to get her comedy wings. She said Joe Torre told her that she's funny and she needs to get on stage, and somewhere along the line she was doing that and stripping at the same time. She said used to hang around Robin Harris at that same club, and
her comedy was nasty.
Yeah, she said her comedy was nasty, and I didn't even pay attention to it, but I went back last week and watched Def Comedy Jam, and I was shocked when she came out there and did a set. I was blown away because I just never saw her back then. This is one of the episodes I didn't see. Even if I saw it, I wouldn't have remembered her.
Probably not.
Because she wasn't funny, because she was good at what she did, but a lot of times we see comedians on Def Comedy Jam and we don't see them ever again. And some of them pop up later and we don't even realize that we saw them 10 years earlier on Def Comedy Jam because of that gap. But she did a set on Def Comedy Jam and she was doing her thing in the comedy world. I didn't know that.
She was at the Comedy Store too.
I didn't know this stuff about her. So that's interesting. On Uncensored, she also talked about she said somebody introduced her, said, you want to make some money? I have a friend that's in jail. He's a Cuban drug lord. If you act like you're his girlfriend and be his girlfriend while he's in jail, so you don't even have any real physical interaction with him, just be his girlfriend and you're going to get paid.
Right.
And she made thousands and thousands of dollars from just doing that and going to visit him and talking to him and doing whatever he told her to do outside. And she made money off of that.
Yeah.
She was
like, I can't make this stuff up. I cannot make this stuff up.
You can.
You know, I mean, she has done a lot of stuff along her way. Who else did she bump into before she did her acting school?
Well, before the school, she grew up. So not only did she grow up a little bit with Tisha Campbell, but she grew up with Ladybug Mecca from
On Digital.
Ladybug from Digital Planet.
Planet.
They call her now Ladybug Mecca. But my girl, we beat the talker, let's tap to my raps. She didn't innovate with a tweeted cat nap. That's my girl. Ask Butter how I zone, man. Cleopatra Jones. And them chill like that. Boy, she was.
Oh, yeah, I used to love them.
She's cool.
Oh,
She's cool. Ladybug. But yeah, that was one of her friends growing up. This is some, full circle stuff. You don't know this stuff. I didn't know this stuff, so I'm learning a lot. So
she knows a lot of people who you wouldn't have thought that she would be, interacted with.
At an early age.
Yeah, at an early age.
Back in the 90s, 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah. That's true.
She went through a period of being an atheist, so not believing in God. Ended up getting her faith back, but life was kicking her in the ass and she just stopped believing in God. And I hear that often from people. Some people just don't believe, or how did I get in this situation? God wouldn't allow this if there were a God, and that's what she was for a while. What else?
Is this before she was this teacher?
It can be a teacher.
I mean, before she was teaching her
it can be whatever
class.
Yeah,
so she was teaching an actress class, and she had Lance Gross. And
the man from Tyler Perry movies that everybody was loving, all the ladies were loving before Ralph Angel came along. Y'all did Lance Gross dirty. Y'all better show him more love.
Lance Gross, and she also wrote a movie with Lance Gross in it, and and what's her name? I want to say her name is Big Mama, but that is incorrect. Her name is Mama. Little Mama. Little Mama. She did she wrote a movie on BET.
Okay.
With Lance Gross.
Oh, I saw that. That was about the girl. I can't remember what city. I don't know if it's Chicago.
Yeah, she was stripping
down in South Carolina.
He became her pimp.
Right.
Yeah, so it was a really good movie. It was a really good movie. So that was one of her directing
debuts on TV or something. That was good.
So she did this acting class or school for people who couldn't afford that money to pay for acting.
So she began doing her own thing.
And she also had Mary J. Blige was introduced to her class.
One of her students.
Yeah.
But she knew her before that. But
she knew her
Mary
before
didn't know she had her own school. Mm-hmm. So she taught Mary, she taught Lance Gross, like you said, and a lot of actors.
And a couple of other people came to her class, interacted in her class. So she was doing very well for herself. And then she came across Charles Dutton.
Now that was mind blowing. Mm-hmm. And I say that because what was the corner done? 99, 2000, somewhere around.
It had to be the 90s. It wasn't 2000. So
it actually hit 2000.
Oh, was 2000?
May 2000.
Oh, okay.
So,
it was late too.
And I only remember that because I remember where I was living at the time when I was watching it. But the corner, after watching Uncensored, I went back. She mentioned she was on the corner and her and Charles Dutton were so close and this and that. I went on YouTube, and as soon as I saw her face, I knew the character, and it left a mark on me because she was so good and so believable. And I couldn't believe it was Tasha Smith. I'm like, that was her?
Yeah.
She was a trip on that show. She was most of the reason why I was watching it. Mm-hmm. I didn't know her name, but I knew the little skinny crackhead lady.
Yeah.
A crackhead, and she was hilarious. I never would have known that, or could have imagined that when I saw her on Daddy's Little Girls and Why Did I Get Married? When I saw her on those, I had no idea that was her.
It still didn't dawn on you.
Right. So if y'all get a chance, go watch The Corner. It was a series, I believe it was on HBO. Mm-hmm. And I think it only had one season. And these hour-long episodes, I think T.C. Carson was the father. The boy from the Wood, the main character from the Wood, when he was little, this was him. Actually, came out around the same time as the Wood. And Candy from CB4 and CSI Miami. Mm-hmm. Those are the main characters. And Tasha Smith played such a great drug addict, such a great crackhead.
Which from her beginning, she knew that environment.
Right, from her days of being on cocaine and everything and hanging around people.
Her environment.
Right. But she brought all that to the table.
She did.
And got the job.
And then from there, Tyra Banks introduced her to Tyler Perry.
Right.
And that's how she got into Daddy's Little Girl. She wasn't originally supposed to be in Why Did We Get Married? It was another actress, but
Why Did I Get Married?
Why Did I Get Married? What did I say? Why did we get married? Why did I get married? And so she learned the lines before she went to dinner with him.
She heavily persuaded.
She persuaded him that she deserves this part and that she is Angela.
She harassed Tyler Perry for about 2 hours. She kept repeating the lines from the movie and acting it out and telling him that she needs to be
in this movie.
The character. And he took out whatever actor it was. And who do you think the actress was?
I don't know. It's hard to say because whoever it was well known. That's why she didn't mention who it was. But I don't know. My theory, and I think the theory you had was a good one because that person that you mentioned could easily be. Who do you think it was? I said Taraji P. Henson.
So you think Taraji was the original?
Maybe so.
What's the girl's name?
Angela.
Angela. You think Taraji was the original Angela?
And you thought it was.
And I thought it was Tashina Arnold.
Yeah, those two would have been a good pick.
But it could have been Regina King. Or it could have been Regina Hall. Right. So I wonder who it was. We had to.
Well, from them, I think we might have hit the mark because I think those are the very four who could have done that.
And then maybe a Vivica, but she also said that Tyler tried to get the actress to take the other role since he was snatching it from her and giving it to Tasha. He tried to give her a different role. Yeah, and it couldn't have been, so it wouldn't have been a Jill Scott role. So it would have been one of the other two little ladies.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been Janet Jackson role either. Cause Janet was somebody he probably really wanted in this
So that movie. Other one, there you go. So, yeah, see, we detectives over here. Shay's in the mark with that.
So therefore, yeah, it had to be the other young lady.
And she just blew up. She did her thing in Daddy's Little Girls with Idris. Mm-hmm. And then, that got that name out there more. And then that, Why Did I Get Married? Why Did I Get Married? That just blew her out
and then she did from Better or Worse, that came on TV.
Right.
On the OWN network.
Making that money up there. But it's wild because when she said she was young and she was picked up by Juvenile for fighting one time, her and her sister. But it's wild to see where people came from. So she gave an example of one fight where some girls thought that her or her sister were dating one of their boyfriends or something. So all these high schoolers came to her house to fight. And her sister put on motorcycle helmets or something. Got lighter fluid. And put in and they lit up a stick, made like a torch. And then they put pennies inside of a sock and wrapped the sock around their fist. And they came out with the helmets on, a torch in one hand, and sock,
and the lighter full of socks, and the matches,
sock full of pennies on the hand, and they came out swinging and kicking butt, and they like whooped these girls' butts. And then the girls called the police, or their parents called the police, and they got quote unquote arrested as teenagers. These are some wild stories. She was crazy. Said she used to go to school with lighter fluid, matches, and a hammer in her book bag. Mm-hmm. What the hell?
What school was that?
They gonna light somebody up.
Right. They was ready for them. They was ready for whatever was gonna go down. They was ready.
And she talked about how broke her and Eddie
And I guess they ain't had no metal detectors at that school.
They ain't no metal detectors. But they talked about needing a lighter fluid detector. She talked about how her and Eddie Griffin were super broke in the 90s, living in a studio apartment with a tiny bathroom with no bathtub, that's a sink and a toilet. And how they will only get scrounged together $2 or $3, and they couldn't afford a Big Mac but couldn't afford fries, so they would beg the workers for fries. They just say they were super broke. They would go to buffets with a few dollars, or happy hours, enough to buy a drink, and then they would just steal food. They would take plastic grocery bags and steal food from the buffet. And their entrance was just to get to the bar, to get access to the food. So she had a wild life. She's still teaching, she's still acting. She's producing and directing, like you mentioned, and writing. And she has a new love in her life. Who's the love of her life?
Michael K. Williams.
Michael K. Williams, Mr. Omar from The Wire. Omar's coming. I said, Omar's coming. Omar come out there. What do you say? What's his line from The Wire?
I do not remember.
About the king.
I do not remember.
Did you watch The Wire?
I watched it. Not as frequent as I should have,
so
but I did start watching.
You didn't watch the entire series?
No, I still got to catch up on some stuff that I missed.
He say something about the king. What did you say about the king?
It wasn't the king is here? No,
I can't remember that line.
I can't remember.
Most kings.
Now I got to look at it.
Yeah, that's The Wire that's some of the best
That's a
TV
monumental
ever.
show. That was a groundbreaking show.
It was. That's some of the
Almost
best TV
like
ever.
that other show that everybody talks about. What is it that everybody blew? Another show that blew up. It was about cocaine and everything. What was it called? Breaking
like
Bad.
That? Oh, Breaking Bad.
That was another
couldn't
one.
mess with The Wire, but yeah, you're right. Breaking Bad was a big show.
Yeah. So everybody who was anybody was in The Wire.
Except for Tasha Smith.
Tasha Smith.
Her love right now is Michael K. Williams, and an unlikely couple to some of us. But you never know who's doing what and who's doing who behind closed doors. Because I'm serious. Like Rudy Ray Moore used to say, no one knows where the nose goes when the doors is closed.
Okay, now.
Yeah.
That's your man right there.
Looking forward to that movie. But that's it for Tasha Smith. I look forward to meeting her and not her sister. I look forward to
I want to meet both
Tasha
of them because
Smith.
I would like to see how both of their personalities are. I kind of would like to meet both of them.
You can see that personality?
Yeah, but I would like to know now, like how Sidra is now.
I told you how Sidra is.
We only
Sidra
heard
ready to punch me in my mouth.
Which her, they're not too much different than. But my point is, I would like to, kind of see, because they're twins. So I kind of like to see that dynamic of the twins.
Tasha would have said, are you okay? Can I help you with something? That's what Tasha would have said to me. Sidra was like, they're staring, fist balled up.
Ready.
I'm about to knock your ass out. And she hit me in my head. She'd have broke her hand.
I
got a hard head.
still would love to meet both of them.
You still, babe.
I still would.
I'm gonna meet Tasha one of these days.
Meet both of them. But I thought that Unsung has come to an end, and I can't wait till next season to see.
Uncensored.
What did I say?
Unsung.
I'm so sorry, y'all. Uncensored. They both come on at the same an hour from each other. So I cannot wait to what next season is going to bring us, because guess what? Next season brings us something, and we bring it to y'all.
That's right.
On
Uncensored
Lyrics
with Tasha Smith on TV1.
Check it out. Go on demand.
Yes, it is a must see. This woman is wild. And it's something to see for young adults and teens that get into a lot of trouble and may think their lives are over with, or may think that they've gotten in too much trouble to do something great. And Tasha Smith is a prime example of somebody who's been arrested and been through this and that, and now she's doing big things. She turned her life around. So that's it for us. Lyrics and Lies. I'm your boy Money Green, chilling with
Shayz is on the mic.
And y'all check out these other videos we got on YouTube. Just put in the @ symbol, Lyrics and Lies, and y'all can see and enjoy everything else that we bring to y'all, because we got some good stuff.
And also check out our other Uncensors that we have done.
Oh, Tasia. We did Tasia.
Yeah, we did Tasia. So check out the other one. I think we did
D.L.
Hughley.
Mm-hmm.
So check out the other ones that we have done, because that's what we do. We bring out the real.
And tell us what y'all think. And until then,
Comment and subscribe.